No.
We just have to have a go of it, you see.
I'd like to extend to you a formal invitation to join me on a trip down memory lane. That clip, that was shot by Kasdan, my kid brother. Kasdan. Which means this story takes place before, after, and during my last movie, Headed North. It's the lost chapter. Now in that time of transition, there's a lot of gaps, so this movie serves to bridge the most aesthetically apparent gap, to paint a little fuller picture of what I've been up to these last few months, and that's this studio. I have one rule of filmmaking that I abide by, and that is to have an escape plan. I make everything else up as I go. This is my notebook from winter term last year. This is sketch after sketch of this studio space 6 months before I even stepped foot in here. At the time, I remember yearning for a change of pace in what I was doing on YouTube. I felt like my ability to further myself creatively was inhibited by the roadblocks of my surroundings. This studio was my escape plan. I'd given myself to go off of then, I threw it out. In the physical act of stepping away from what I'd made in that place, with my toes now pointed towards the future, I was forced to face down the proclamations and promises I wielded as nothing more than a shield of vanity to protect myself from my own insecurities about my position and my place. I talked myself into thinking I had something to lose, that somewhere along the road I'd obtained something to protect. So I let it go. I burned the evidence, covered my tracks, and went back to the drawing board.
Hold it, let's keep that intro right. 3.
Or else, no, oh, I'll just play the guitar. Okay.
That's right, you just play the guitar.
This whole studio renovation project has been like pushing a giant boulder up a mountain, and I'm almost to the point where I can see the top. I have a much better idea of what I'm doing. It's still a ways to go. Anyone can buy a few things from IKEA and call it a studio, but I was much more interested in building a space that's design required a little bit more thought, something built by hand to accommodate my own filmmaking style every step of the way. The work itself started in late July. This was part 1 of the making of, as it were. Construction fully underway. The second part falls after the farewell trip to Alaska. Next time I'm back in this room, it'll be to finish this project once and for all. When I got back, I was in this hyper emotionally aware state, grappling with what it was like to say goodbye to my family and what it meant to be entering into this new realm of independence. And because of that, I was able to pour all of myself into this space on a level and to a degree I haven't been able to commit to anything I've taken on in the past. And out of that came a tremendously therapeutic experience that I couldn't have asked to have come at a better crossroads.
Tous les deux, on le gêne, à nous la liberté. Bien souvent, on chante sur le quai. Tu me dis que tu m'aimes, bien sûr je t'y crois. Es-tu sûr que ça durera? moi j'ai peur parfois, car tu es tout pour moi.
Completed? It's not the right word. This studio will always be a work in progress, but a couple of weeks ago, I was able to hang up the tools and start work on what would become the Alaska movie. I know, were it not for this shelter and for the voices in these walls that gave me permission to get to a place where I could tell that story, that movie doesn't get made, and I don't get a turn to this new chapter. Highlights of note include, but are not limited to, red entryway, arguably excessive cable management. I've been doing wiring for the last 5 hours straight. When I close my eyes, all I see is screws, plastic, and extension cords. I should go to sleep. Am I gonna go to sleep? No. Someone's gotta do it. Custom desk for long-term video editing sessions and other desk-related activities like making headway. Custom bookshelf with secondary function to display individually specified wood folders, sticker filing cabinet, and ammo boxes with detailed contents. Fully operational workshop used to build this studio and all future renovations. Every word from every verse of Dylan's seminal 65 record, divided into the electric side and the acoustic side. Bootleg storage, painting and craft supplies, gear armory, completely reimagined overhead shooting station. It's the crown jewel of the studio. White corkboard for the rotating showcase of the self-portrait drawing series. Oh, ample blank space for forthcoming editions.
Why don't you leave it one on?
Yeah, just leave it. I'll take it then.
Okay.